But if you have 6 megabytes per second or higher of upload speed, then you should be able to output the stream to 1080p. If not, just keep below that 1080p mark. Around 720p works great. Now jumping back over to Streamlabs, change the download factor to either bicubic, or if your connection is absolute crap and you want it to perform the best, change it to bilinear for the best chances of it working good. Then next go to the advanced tab on the left, then change the process priority to above normal. Then in the output tab, change the output mode to advanced.
Item. It's probably the best few items for the early game. And I can't remember the item.
Iron Talon?
Yeah, Iron Talon, yeah. I can't remember the name.
Nice, TP's out. Arrow gonna connect to break the TP.
Dire's
and that was a nice little jump forward from Raven to get the kill. Raven gonna have to TP back home though with the Gale and the double poison touch on him, so he gets out of there.
Yeah, he has to kick him out of the lane, but
Dire's middle
at the
tower
expense of
is
a
under
lot of
attack.
mana, so now he's not going to be able to rotate to pressure the Elk. Elk is farming, although he's way fatter this time compared to the last game, way fatter.
Yeah, and he's just gonna keep on digging, gets a little creep for himself.
I mean, this hero feels like
Dire's
he's
top tower is
gonna be
under
a problem.
attack.
Cuckoo going in for the Echo. You knew it was coming. Can they kill off Moon? They will. And now trying to find a little bit more. DJ headed off to the side. As soon as you saw Cuckoo turning back around, you knew that Echo was coming.
Yeah, that was a recall on the Puck, so it's on cooldown, but Puck still has TP and Coil to defend this tower.
Radiant's
Benno
bottom
has
tower
no
is
TP,
under
10
attack.
seconds cooldown.
Is under attack.
But it's pretty important that they hold this tower right now. If Big Sam can open up the map by killing this tower. Look at what DJ is doing, he pulled the whole wave away. So there's no creeps, no push, and Puck TP's top instead. I don't need to be bot. The tower is not in danger.
Interesting. And instead they're going to try and take this one. Zephyr's not quite level 6 yet, so Moon has a pretty good...
Oh, Carl is coming in from behind. Cuckoo and Carl. They're gonna get 3 runes.
That's another round of 3 runes for GEEK, fam. What the heck?
But Elk is still fatter this game compared to where
Dire's
he
top
was the
tower
last
is
game.
under attack.
I know, he's almost
Radiant's
like...
middle tower
half
is
to
under
go
attack.
Radiance.
Imagine if they traded evenly, both the runes, he probably has his relic now.
Yeah, it would be insanity. And I mean, he's still gonna have those bounty. Like, I don't think he's dug up any of them yet. Jump forward here onto the Chen. They'll find jabs and just pummel him
Dire's
down
top
to death,
tower
most
is under
likely.
attack. Is under
As
attack.
well, they're trying to hide around the other side. Carl didn't get him.
He doesn't want to
Oh, there it is though. He jumps forward and finds him now. Moon in the meantime is gonna head out of there. Ice gonna take them on a
Radiant's bottom tower
Is he
is
gonna
under
get the kill?
attack.
Oh my god, he wanted it
Dire's
so
top
bad.
tower is under attack.
their base.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Elk is farming, and it's all that matters to them. But I feel like they lost quite a one hero too many.
Yeah.
If they only lost 2 heroes, I think it was reasonable. 3 heroes a bit expensive.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Again, doing a good job with these melee creeps that have been taken over to just come in and pull them off of the tower. As you can see, Carl there messing around a little bit with 23 Savage, but my man is close to his Radiance. It is real early on top lane. They're able to find themselves a Phoenix. Does not have A,
wish to
so he will be
retract your
brought
last
down. Everywhere they go.
He's the scrambler here. Got eaten.
Oh, yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
So
Fnatic are looking so good.
yeah, like you said, it's all about like the Radiance. And even when he gets the Radiance, I think that he still needs to farm. If he wants to fight right away, then he has to go for a BKB after the Radiance.
Oh, Carl, you're playing things real dangerously. He wants to jump on 23 Savage, goes for a Sonic Wave, and just solo kills him.
Dire's
23
top tower
Savage
is
just
under
did
attack.
vastly like literally Quap just right-clicked him and then eventually ulted.
Radiant's courier has been
Oh
killed.
my god. That was bizarre.
Overestimating your hero, man. Having too good of a game. Top lane. Moonlight Shadow. Protection.
He misses the Echo, not gonna find it. Does manage somehow to
Radiant's
find
bottom
Moon
tower
over
is
there
under
on
attack.
top. And the
Radiant
Sonic coming in
structures
from
are
Mr. Zephyr
fortified.
gets the finish. DJ hiding
Dire's
off in the
top tower
trees
is under
will
attack.
be able to get the TP out of there.
Yeah, big plays here by GEEK fam. Getting those kills, especially the one on L,
Radiant's
is
bottom tower is under
very,
attack.
very crucial one.
Dire's
And this
middle
game
tower
is a
is under
totally
attack.
different perspective of how they are handling the L, despite the L given like a
Radiant's bottom
free
tower
game.
has
Yeah, it
fallen.
wasn't really contested, but
Dire's
GEEK fam has
middle
been doing a
tower
good job
is under
controlling the
attack.
bounty runes, killing the other heroes, and making sure that L is the only one having farm, and everyone else is poor as dirt.
Well, and I guess it also speaks to this issue of like not having the Treant to protect the towers. They take down this bottom tier 1 pretty early on here at 13 minutes.
Fano
Maybe they
isn't
can do
as
more.
good of a replacement.
No, still annoying,
It's
but
the tower healing that's I think the part that no one else can replicate. Until you have 25
Radiant's
level on
middle
Lich.
tower is under
Exactly.
attack.
And then it's beautiful. Dude, Carl going in, just bullying DJ
Dire's top
completely out
tower
of the
is
lane.
under attack.
Yeah, he's just a very fun player to watch. Everything that he's been doing in the
Dire's
game is
top
either
tower has
like
fallen.
amazing or it
Radiant's
flops completely.
middle tower is
And
under
he's that
attack.
kind of player, there's no such thing as a middle ground for him.
He's like Cuckoo. They've got 2 of them on this team.
And
That's their
they
style.
have Raven to back them up. Raven is the reliable father, I would say, the responsible father figure.
Radiant's
He's there
middle
to
tower
say,
is
"Relax,
under
guys,
attack.
Get back, wait for my rapier, wait for my BKB. He's that guy on the team,
He's got a savings account, He's just trying to pay his mortgage. He's just trying to make things work for himself. Going for the MKB this game, knowing that he needs to become a damage dealer. ASAP.
Is MKB like the most cost-efficient damage item right now from Yara?
Dire's middle tower is under
No,
attack.
That's sort of a question I was having. I guess with the leap attack speed,
lane.
like it's pretty good.
Ice, ice.
Oh my god. He's in some trouble. Yeah, and he's gonna drop here. He's gonna come in, secure the last hit, and then blink himself on out of there. A smoke up now. Cuckoo, Raven, and Whitemon all going for the jump here. And 23 Savage does have his Radiance, but
Dire's middle tower
find him.
is under
They
attack.
didn't go in deep enough.
They don't have a ward, so they don't know. They just wanted to secure the runes. Lucky 23 Savage. And he places the ward and sentry there, so he knows they are around the vicinity. So he gets out and continues to farm his BKB.
Yeah, this smoke up is going to wear out now. Carl is looking for it as well. He is going to head over, though. Wait, no. Out of the acid spray. They still might get some of that kill, but they kill off the Pango on the other side of the map. And now moving in with this
Radiant's
catapult wave
middle
that you
tower
always
is
love to
under
talk
attack.
about. They're going to take this mid tower, it
Radiant
looks like.
structures
It's
are
okay,
fortified.
Tango is expendable hero.
Dire's top tower
Never
is
mind.
under attack.
They're not going to take it. Radiance Alk
Dire's
shows up in the
structures
glyph.
are fortified.
When you see the way they're playing the game, it's exactly the same game like the previous game, the game plan, but with a little bit of a different hero. Everyone
Dire's
is
middle
doing the
tower
same thing.
is under
Supports are
attack.
just running around. One is on top, one is on bottom to break smokes, set up kills for the team. And the elk is always like farming the safest pockets, like here, 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 and here. He's always getting the safest farm, and the banner will be like somewhere here, somewhere crazy. It will be here or here, like somewhere far away. And the
Right.
the banner and the puck.
Playing as far out as they can, buying as much space as they can for the elk, and
Yeah,
then
bot lane. Puck is going to make a rotation. He has Coil, he has Veil, and Raven is going to be in a lot of trouble if he gets caught here with the Coil into Rolling Thunder. DJ has a dagger.
Radiant's
One
bottom
thing
tower
that
is under attack.
that you don't want to find. But he's again doing the right thing. He's protecting on the left. He was here. The carry was farming on the right. So if anything happens with us, if Raiden decides to smoke in, he's going to be the first one to be there. Yeah, that is.
well, I think part of that is that's why he ended up getting that D ward on the ward that was placed down there as well, and so they realized that there was one there, but they didn't know about Raven. Yeah, tough stuff. And not able to get the full connection on the kill that they would have liked, but they're still able to get at
Dire's
least
middle
one.
tower is under attack.
I mean, over the right thing, blocking up the gank, and top lane, Zephyr is taking the dangerous farm, but a little bit too long, so he's gonna get punished.
May you
for his
ride
troubles.
on nether zephyrs.
And once again, Elk is okay, guys. Thank you for the space. I'm hitting
Dire's
creeps.
middle tower
I am
is
getting
under
my
attack.
BKB.
Is under
Hang
attack.
on.
I think the other part of that that's so good too is it's just like Jabs being able to be the one that runs up there and then pulls in the puck, right? So puck doesn't even necessarily have to stay here. It's just Jabs that can stay here and set up for the kills
Yeah.
if he needs to.
Yeah, precisely. That's why Chen is so invaluable in this kind of card carry job.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I mean, he probably would still die because but the Earthshaker had to expend the echo.
Dire's middle tower
He's
has
chased
fallen.
down now. He manages to get the tower, but the supernova afterwards is going to get thrown out there. Ice. Oh, does get stunned, but the coil to turn this back around with the veil on top of it, they are going to die. And in the meantime, even though Ice does go down, it is not feeling absolutely amazing. Zephyr taking damage over time as well. Moonger's fine job. Lands afterwards. Echo is going to be dropped now. Cuckoo apparently didn't drop it on the Chen and manages to find themselves a turnaround.
Yeah, Elk has BKB for the price of the banner and the puck. Was that worth it?
I don't know.
They don't have egg, they don't have echo. What can they claim with this BKB? They have to claim something in return now. Not sure if they can do Rush. They actually have a medallion. Okay, maybe they can do Rush. Chen has a medallion. That's a very, very good item right now to have. Arrow.
KB is there. Alchemist just drops. That can't happen. It can't.
I don't have to tell you what I'm gonna say anymore after this. You run up the high ground, you die. They have no vision. You just lost, he just lost his team here, right? The banner, the Pango, the banner and the puck. And there's no way that he can actually just run up this high ground and farm. He wanted to farm this camp and this camp. That is actually so greedy.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with this tree camp here? He's here. He could have just retreated to wait for the rest of his team, farm this tree camp, and then take over this area after.
Yeah, and it didn't end up happening, and now you miss out. Like, they're not going to get roast, they're not going to get anything.
Yeah, that's a big kill. A huge
Radiant
kill. Like, you
are
want to carry,
scanning.
you do not want to die in the game. Every death you make in a game costs your team so much.
Arrow going to go out there, DJ. Going to be able to roll through and picks up the
Gets the rune.
Unbelievable. Take that one every day of the week.
Yeah, it's a elk. That hurts.
Well, continuing to work, and Mirana has her leap attack speed talent now on top of the MKB, and then also getting all the good stuff coming from the Ogre Bloodlust. But with Ogre dead, Fnatic feeling comfortable moving on in and trying to take down Roche. The arrow, though, is going to land on a 23 Savage. So this is going to be that much more slowly. I don't know if they can do this. I mean, they're still going in for it. Phoenix Egg is back up.
Radiant's middle tower
They're
is under
all on
attack.
the side here. They have a Blink Dagger up on Cuckoo. Jumps in. Ice misses the Enchant Dota, but but he is going to be able to turn it back around afterwards. Carl jumps onto Ice. Supernova up on the high ground. They can't hit this one, but they are going to kill off Cuckoo. Can they find any more afterwards? Carl still chasing into this one.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Roche. Raven is ready to go to work. Can they get him? Arrow goes out, lands. Is it going to hit there? 23 Savage, he dodges to the side, and that's going to keep him alive. Silence now onto the Queen of Pain. Long duration stun, and separated so far away from the rest of her team.
Dire's
They
bottom
cannot
tower
make
is
it
under
happen.
attack.
Moon in the meantime, though, that he is stunned. The arrow, the turnaround. Dude, Moon's getting dropped.
Holy shit, the damage from the Monkey King down. Okay, this is the most important damage I know.
Dire's bottom tower
Because you
is
get so
under
much
attack.
attack speed from your lead.
Lightman goes back in yet again. They got to be real careful.
Radiant's
They have
top
more Chen
tower
creeps to take
is under
out.
attack.
Arrow's available.
Shaker is coming, Gabe. Shaker is coming for the L.
Can they do it? They're going to bring down Zephyr real
Radiant's
low.
top
The
tower
damage over
is under
time might
attack.
be enough. They're trying to kill off DJ, and they're going to get him. The punch comes through. Cuckoo still looking for his opening. Ice, trying to keep him back here with these Plague Wards. He hasn't dropped another one down.
Radiant's
Cuckoo
top
there
tower
breaks the
is under
Blink
attack.
Dagger. Oh, and that feels bad. The rest of them moving in, though. Arrow just barely going to miss away from Roche. Alp trying to finish it off, but he's getting backed. As BKB Savage is going to drop. And now GEEK
Roshan has fallen to the dark.
No, Raven picks up the Aegis and Fnatic. They're losing
Radiant's
out so
top
much.
tower
Arrow
is
is
under
now
attack.
on to Venom. But this is going to be Raven coming back in a second. Eul Scepter keeping Carl alive. He's had time to respawn during all of this. Blinks away, possibly. Yes, that keeps him alive. And Moon has to jump. The Sonic Wave goes out. DJ chasing for Carl. It was only a one-times combo. They end up killing Carl yet again. But it did cost them a DJ buyback, and they denied the Alk the Aegis.
Oh, I think that decision making was quite questionable. I think he had to just come out and he had BKB. He had to come out, take the fight first. There was actually no way he could have finished that Roshan. There's actually no way. He needed to join his team, fight off the GEEK Fam heroes, then go for the Roshan. That's way too risky for him to. He didn't have enough damage. Like there was actually no way he killed the Rosh.
Now Mirana level 19, 8-0-7. Raven is having an amazing game. Oh my god! Jump in.
Let the world end now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Drops the echo on him. I don't even know if the echo did any damage. I think he was already dead.
Yeah, he was dead. Phoenix got him with the Fire Spirit. It's okay. Not a big deal.
No.
They already got the Roshan.
I feel like Mirana is going to be really hard to deal with, though. 2 levels ahead of the next highest on the Radiant team. Do you think she does mana break this game? Or I guess you talked about the spell.
Radiant
Yeah, the
are
spell and
scanning.
with the MKBs, but because it's 100 bonus, yeah, it's magic damage 100. So the 10% spell means it does an extra 10 from the MKB proc, and then your arrow and
Radiant
Starstorm also
structures
deals
are
more damage.
fortified.
I actually
Dire's
do more damage with
structures
that
are
compared to the
fortified.
plus 20 mana break.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not entirely sure. You have to do the math and tell me. I'm just speculating.
Oh, Carl. Arrow goes out, almost able to land there, but the leash duration. They did not realize there were more heroes coming over. GEEK Fam looking for the jump. They find themselves one. That's Ice dead. Did not manage to cast a single spell. And now the Supernova up on the high ground yet again. Jab's trying to run away. He's under fire. And then getting caught here by the stun. The jump forward hand of God. It's not enough to keep Jabs alive. But 23 Savage is going to be able to secure himself a kill. And use the BKB for this.
BKB.
Arrow goes out.
Radiant's
And
bottom
the
tower
Fisher
is under attack.
lands the chase. Oh, good silence though from the Buck. That might have saved his life right there. And they're going to end up losing Cuckoo.
That was way too deep for the
Dire are
Dire.
scanning.
They tried to capitalize too much of it.
Radiant's
because the
middle
LD
tower
had
is
BKB,
under
they wanted to
attack.
go for more and
Radiant's
more.
middle tower has fallen.
Oh, multi-runes.
Behold,
Oh,
a prize.
Moon jumps in there, able to get it. But now the silence, the runaway, and the blink out. So Carl got one, Puck got the other.
And this Puck against KOP has been nothing less but entertaining what they're doing the whole game towards each other. They're both trying to outmaneuver each other in the team fight. They're trying to catch each other, vice versa. Just trying to contribute as much as they can in terms of damage and control towards the team fight. So it's very, very entertaining to watch them duke it out in the game.
We should mention now, Raven got 20. He went for the mana break. I wonder if this is because he's against the Alk, because we've seen him go, or other people go for the spell amp, but just like burning all the mana is pretty nice.
That could be the reason. Like if Elk doesn't have mana, he can't really use anything. Like he's very dependent on casting his spells.
Shadowblade Cuckoo finds himself a quick little pick off. Ice didn't stand a chance. Shadowblade, real good.
Yeah, the hunter. He is the hunter in this game.
Carl also looking like a hunter here onto Moon. Jumps in. Is Moon just dead?
What the just happened?
He lands.
Oh, you can't finish it there?
Holy moly!
Wow. Impressive showing.
Radiant's
I
top
know.
tower is under attack.
Good to know that. You learn something every game.
Radiant
Cuckoo,
structures
they find
are
jabs.
fortified.
Fidget's gonna land arrow off the mark, but look at the right click speed coming in from Raven.
Just got last.
But never.
Oh, wait.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Feels strong.
They're just owning right now. GEEK is in complete control of this game. If it keeps going like
Radiant's
this, it's
top
looking
tower
like a
is under
1-1.
attack.
So if the game is not the series is not 1-1, I will blame your curse.
Okay, that's fair. I deserve it. Well, I said if it keeps going like this, it's not necessarily the case that it's going to happen.
No, that's not important. What's important is you said 1-1.
All right, fair enough. There was an enchanted quiver, by the way, that Mirana, I think she just gave it back to somebody else, though. Man, Cuckoo, yet again.
Radiant's top tower
Cuckoo, he
is
finds
under
ice.
attack.
Oh, the Fisher's there, but look at the hand of God. Oh, yeah, Cuckoo's just out of there. They're going to use the blow, though, to bring him down. So he will be punished.
Yeah, they have to be careful about giving away all these kills. I think the Elk can still be in position to carry this game, He has a Blade Mill. He doesn't have a great game, but he's still pretty fat. Blade Mill, AC, plus a Mind Breaker right now. He deals a tremendous amount of damage. And with the Chen backing
Radiant's
up
top
with
tower
the
is under
heal amp,
attack.
he could be a very, very strong force. There is a vessel on the Phoenix to counteract that.
Yeah. Alka's going to
Dire's
stun
middle
himself in the
tower
mid lane,
is under attack.
but they are in a position to jump on him.
Sometimes you need to hit yourself and wake up, when you're having a bad game.
Dire's middle tower
Been having a bit
has
of a rough
fallen.
one for sure. Ice ready to walk up a hill.
Tennis players are one of the craziest.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
having a rough one. They smash their rackets. Yes, he is fine.
Okay, he just turns on ice. Literally alone. Carl is not there.
He even scares the enemy team because of how brave he is.
Look at the smoke. Look at this wraparound that's coming. But Raven reveals himself on the creep wave, actually, and meanwhile walking up the hill, they
Radiant
get him.
scanning.
Ice trying to hide away, but the arrow, long range from downtown. Right click, does he get his ulti off in time? No, it will not come.
Radiant's
No
middle
ulti,
tower
man.
is under attack.
Cool down, man.
Arrow.
Cool down,
Well,
Haven.
Radiant's courier has
yep,
been
they
killed.
catch the Chen here too now.
Dire's bottom tower
Arrow?
is under attack.
Barely misses
Dire's
there,
courier
but they at
has
least
been
find
killed.
Shadows, and now the right click's coming in.
Radiant's top tower is under
Two
attack.
go down, and
Radiant
now with
structures
creeps
are
here,
fortified.
are they going to be able to pressure the tower? It doesn't look like it.
Ruins.
Cuckoo got it!
Unbelievable. Okay,
I'm
that is
sorry.
one.
That's
Oh my God, Moon! What a player! The jump away. Cuckoo wanted him so bad.
No,
But he knew.
He echoed before he blinked. That was what happened.
And Moon tries to hide.
Dire's
Cuckoo
courier
knew where he
has
was
been
going to be
killed.
at, but he can't catch up to
What
it.
the just
Wait a
happened?
minute, what the hell is DJ doing? He's over on the other side of the freaking map. He's just killing couriers over here. DJ inside the Dire base cutting waves like an absolute madman.
Haven't you heard of the phrase? The most dangerous place is sometimes the safest place.
potentially not the place for the Queen of Pain.
Stop.
Blink away. Oh, BKB Yules. And then the Sonic Wave afterwards. Looking to try to keep the fight going and jump in. Raven, the absolute madman. 23 Savage trying to bring down Zephyr. That is a BKB on the freaking Phoenix. And now they're in complete and total no man's land with no BKB up. Do they want to re-engage on this with Geek Fam? It doesn't look like it.
Elk has no BKB.
They're thinking about going. They find him. Do have the ulti available on the Venomancer, but he dies. It's too much damage too quickly. And now Raven, looking for more, does not have an arrow, but a 4-stab, keeping 23 Savage away.
The Venom needs an armor item, man. It's getting shredded by the right clicks.
Well, the panel was asking if Raven plays Mirana. Earlier, I wasn't sure, but I am sure now that he does. He is looking so good on this hero.
Okay, let me check his profile.
Do it to it. Wait,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Hello? Oh my god, the blade mail. Look how much damage it does to Raven. He's got to run away.
I'll tell you, he didn't play a Mirana game the last
Radiant's middle tower
5
is
days,
under
6
attack.
days, 7 days.
Wow.
He last played Mirana 1 week ago. So the pattern was onto something.
Yeah. He's been hiding it. That's the Smurf practice. That's what we got here. He's definitely
Dire's
playing
top
it well
tower
now, though.
is under
10,
attack.
0, and 12. He's almost caught up with the Alchemist in terms of net worth.
Yeah, he definitely fights better than the Elk. He has better stats, high agility game. You have the Bloodlust and attack speed buff from the lead. You have a lot going on for you.
They also have 4 BKBs right now on Geek Fam. This timing as Earthshaker finishes his off, DJ looking to jump into the midst of all of them. They start out there, a big amount of stunts. It's only the light on though. I don't think they care that much. Although now they get Raven. The turn. It's only a coil though. There's nothing else afterwards. Carl thinking about going in. They got to be careful here on Fnatic. Yeah, these fights that they've been taking have been a little bit bizarre. Arrow, and then did this. Manages to get the blink out afterwards.
Well, I think they have to get this Abyssal. They have to wait for it. They are too light on lockdowns, you know. They don't have enough stuns to kill anyone, especially the elusive heroes, the Quad or the Mirana, and even the Phoenix. You know, they are having a lot of trouble killing him.
The plus side for Fnatic is that it feels like they can't just take Roche on Geek Fam. They can't just walk in and do it.
Dire
they
are
can.
scanning.
You think so?
He just died.
Okay, that's a good call. Yeah, I guess you could do anything really if you're willing to die.
But what is the price, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's the question. What is the price? Everything has a price in the game. What is the trade-off? You're always going to ask yourself the question. Nothing comes free, you know.
That's right. That's another great quote. So I'm
Dire's
seeing
bottom
maybe
tower is under
a
attack.
solution here for Fnatic. Ice is going for the halberd. That feels like a super money item against this Mirana.
So how long does it last? Yes, Satanic. 30% reduction and the Titan Sliver, so that's almost like 42%. It's like half duration.
Radiant are scanning.
It's probably half.
Jumps again. Done. There is no chance here for 23 Savage. He hits the deck. The egg is down. Ice trying to run away. DJ thinking about going back in like an absolute crazy person. But they are not going to be able to do that. So the jump away from Moon and now heading over towards Roche. DJ, he's still thinking about going and he just did not anticipate the turnaround stun. Sonic Wave ends his life. Let me tell you some more. A 4th hero goes down now and Puck just going to have to jump away as quick as he possibly can. But, I mean, Carl's still on him.
Money ball this game. He's doing so much.
They can't catch Moon.
He's also being like so brave, you know. He's always like the first one jumping in, like allowing the Earthshaker to get a good echo, even the Mirana to do a lot of damage. If you look at their lineup, right, they don't really have a front line, you know, and who's actually standing from. The Corp has been doing the front
Radiant's
line.
turret has fallen into the dark.
And just like being the center of attention in the fights or distraction towards the Fnatic lineup, allowing the Mirana and Earthshaker to get the job done, and even the Phoenix to get off a good egg. You have 25, so you can protect the egg with the screen right now.
That's the thing that they've got to be doing, if at all possible.
Radiant's
Sure,
bottom
is-
tower is under attack.
I mean, this game is close to being over. Like, Fnatic has just one more fight left. I think it's probably gonna be a high ground fight or some sort of that matter. They have to just hold on the high ground, defend an area.
Radiant
But
structures
they
are
see that
fortified.
defense is not together. They're trying to
Dire
get a quick pick off
structures
here.
are fortified.
And they do it. I don't think it's happening. These guys are too hard to kill right now. Like, Carl just jumps in. He does not care. Arrow goes out.
Radiant's
Gonna barely be
bottom
off the
tower
mark,
has
and
fallen.
well, 23 Savage has shown up also. They have not used the BKB yet, and now they used it. 23 Savage forced to run away, but the fissure block! Cuckoo got him caught, and they forced that up the high ground. Much needed. That would have been a disaster and a half.
I mean, that was already a disaster. Now he doesn't have BKB. How are they gonna fight? There is actually no way they fight right now.
Radiant's bottom tower
That feels
is
like a
under attack.
possibility. They're so far behind. 11,000 net worth behind with the Alchemist. And you know what? Oh, God,
Radiant's
they
middle
got it. He's
tower
gonna
is
get
under attack.
Hand of God, not enough. No buyback for
just
the
happened?
Alch, and DJ using his ulti to try and chase, get something, anything. But
Radiant's
can't
middle
quite get in
tower
there with
has
Carl.
fallen.
Tried to go for the jump in, but yeah, 70 seconds. I don't know how they're gonna be able to hold this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Silence, punches, so many punches, so much pain. Ice runs in,
Son of a-
gonna pop the ulti, and Geek Fam gonna tell him about it. Couple more punches coming afterwards.
Radiant's
The
bottom
Sunray
tower is
into
under
the
attack.
Supernova, healing up his friends, and then Zephyr comes out of it
Radiant's
afterwards. They are
bottom
gonna
tower
get
has
silence out
fallen.
here, but Moon cannot stop the pain
Radiant's
train
bottom
coming.
barracks are under attack.
Looks like they ate the cheese. Okay.
Bloodluster Phoenix is getting a Rex.
How do you deal with it? It's impossible.
That's the least of their problems right now.
True enough. Bloodlust is everybody. And
Radiant's bottom barracks
Raven
has
just
fallen.
daring anybody to come at him. This guy has 23 armor, 2400 HP, an Aegis, a 9-second BKB, and then Phoenix behind him for the heals. Good silence back. I mean, it's worth noting Moon is really annoying with this Winging Rift range and how big the AoE is.
He has the talent, the cooldown, and the range. So, I mean, that's it. But it's only gonna delay the game, you know. He's not gonna be able to carry the game as a part. He's trying to. He's getting an 800 day gun soon.
Hey. There you go.
Yeah, but still, how much can you do? You're just a pug, you know. You're limited by your hero. You're not a core. You're not like a right clicker. I mean, sure you can get a dream core rapid fire plus the damage item later.
But that jump that you see there under Raven immediately healed back up.
When was the last time you see someone take that talent? I think it's not very useful.
The Dreamcoil.
Radiant's
Dreamcoil
top
Rapid
tower
Fire.
is under
Played a
attack.
couple games with Ben Wu where he took it.
Ben who?
Ben Wu, that's right.
Radiant's
But that's a
top
special
tower
case.
has fallen.
Shouldn't he be spreading useful information?
It's only
Dire
good if you
are
go
scanning.
Midas bots first.
Oh.
That's the rule.
Then we'll buy three items in the game. Radiance, Midas, Boost of Travel
Exactly.
on any hero.
Goodness. Rana just got a data list. No boots necessary. Moving around at 270 movement speed. Eat your heart out. The poison sting slow. And somebody spots, hey, there's a DD bottom. I wonder who would like this. Ninja Gear also picked up.
Oh, that should be on the Mirana.
Yeah, probably.
Radiant
What?
are
Does that have
scanning.
Illusion Escape?
Scanning.
But that's 40 agility, is it? I think that's better.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Illusionist cape is still. It's nice to have the illusion. You know, it's the stats. It's not as great as the ninja gear. But
I mean, 50% damage is pretty good.
yeah, the active is great. Your own personalized meta style.
Scott, they're walking into the Mirana battle. She's got a DD available, but the Aegis did just get reclaimed.
You can.
They still want to fight with me, even though Aegis jumping. He finds him, they're gonna blow him up, but the blade mail isn't gonna do enough. I don't think so. Sonic Blade comes out afterwards. DJ already under fire. They got the Hex, they got the right click, they got the control. They're gonna be mass buybacks, and the arrow is not gonna be on the mark. But they still managed to bring down Venomancer. They're looking for more. There is no Ogre, but there is also no more Alchemist. And in a second here, I think there's going to be no more game. As Fnatic are in a hell of a lot of trouble. Geek Fam diving out like absolute madmen. But in the end, it is looking like Geek Fam are probably going to take this one. Moon jumps in. Jason. Immediate reaction, they have the fear afterwards. Don't manage to hit the timing, it's a silence out instead. And they have to wait. They're gonna head on back with Ogre and Earthshaker done. They're playing it a little bit safe here on Geek Fam. Getting these points is so important for this team.
Are they, is Fnatic already split?
There was still some debate, I think, about it in the last game, but I think
Radiant
that they're pretty much
structures
there.
are fortified.
If I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look back at some of the numbers.
Radiant's middle
I'm not
tower
a
is
numbers
under
guy,
attack.
Winter.
Radiant's middle tower
This
has
win more than
fallen.
them.
I think so. Now, Coil there, onto 3, not bad. Roll coming through onto the Queen of Pain. BKB is out, and look at Raven destroy DJ. Didn't stand a chance.
Radiant's
It's
middle
now
barracks
onto the
has
barracks.
fallen.
Geek Fam
Just happened.
gonna take down the second set. And yeah, they're liking what they're seeing out of their carry. They're liking what they're seeing.
It deserves a freaking tip, man, and a beer after the game. How did you celebrate
Just go to sleep. I'm just tired. Just you ever just get tired, man?
absolutely have to celebrate something, an occasion, New Year's Eve.
I'll grab a nice whiskey. I'm a whiskey
Dire
man.
are scanning.
Yeah, it's my go-to. Oh, look at Carl here, by the way. Conjuring for the but they're gonna kill off another.
Dire structures
Ice
are
Ice just gets
fortified.
blown up too quickly by Raven. The numbers
Radiant's top tower
in the
is
upper
under
left-hand
attack.
corner of the screen for him are just increasing at an
Radiant's middle
astronomical
barracks
level, and now
has
we get the
fallen.
plus 40 blood plus attack speed talent. So yeah, that's a thing. Look at Raven. This is before Leapy.
Radiant's
what?
top tower has
What
fallen.
in God's name? Jump forward, leap in. Let him go. He's a goddamn turret. Savage is getting demolished. Jump forward for the stun. Trying to bring him
Radiant's
down.
top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top
This
barracks has
is the
fallen.
Alchemist. Radiant's cold.
Radiant's top barracks has
0
fallen.
and 21 Raven. Mirana. They are going into
Dire
it at
victory.
a 1-1 apiece. Brilliant showing from Geek Fam.
Yeah, very good game from them. Like,
Yo, microphone check, make it a microphone check. Give it a microphone, I make the microphone dead. Don't step to me, newbie, I could truly be moody. I could have played the fucking Grinch in the movies. I've been a part-time shadow cat, part-time. That is not a guy that I would ever want to try to battle rap. Snap, crackle, pop, mind fried to a crisp. Make an MC into a wide-eyed lunatic. Yo, give it a stage in a minute, I'ma eat you. El professor is in the house, let me teach you. I could defeat you with two hands tied and have you waking in the hospital like, who am I? And who are you? Who are they? What is this? You wouldn't believe how someone react to this shit. The mind slips, slipping, speaking in tongues. Sly ink, GVA, that's how we get it done. 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 Sly ink, GVA, that's how we get it done.
It's
A man can dream.
a man can dream. I mean, I think Geek Fam also plays, but not as often. Is it Cuckoo Enigma?
Most of the time,
He does play Enigma.
Zephyr play for Enigma sometimes too.
Yeah, but I think for TNC, for at least for this series, you are looking at the post 4 and 5. This is going to be the biggest difference maker for both teams.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like the draft is finally ready.
5
so let's jump in
remaining.
and see what's going to be on the table for both teams. And we've got a fresh draft as well, so we're early.
Yeah.
So
Front seat.
front seat. Now, we know for a fact that the first 2 bans, what are the most contested heroes that are probably just going to get removed?
Oh, they're taking out the Tusk.
I was expecting the IO Doom.
Yeah, I was something along the line of Venge TB as well.
Do you think Geek Fam will let the IO through?
I think they might. It feels like GeekFam they have been really bossy recently. They are also really confident. They're daring opponents to pick their best draft and then they beat them. We have already seen that from the last game. They convincingly beat down the Alchemist draft. So I think GeekFams should be quite prepared for TNC too.
Yeah, I think even if this IO goes through, if TNC is not picking IO in the first phase, I don't think they're going to pick IO at all.
Predators
It's going to be a prior pick. It's a Timbersaw ban, so all of TNC's best heroes are now available. So TNC have to make a choice. They can start off with the Beastmaster, they have the Doom, they have the IO, Venge TB.
Interesting, I've never seen anyone ban out Timbersaw against TNC. It only happens in a Fnatic game, but maybe GeekFam trying to set something up. Maybe TB is their choice. They don't want TB to play against Timbersaw. Maybe.
If I'm not mistaken, so KP does play Timbersaw, but I don't know whether his Timbersaw is on a similar. I mean, it's hard to say anyone can be on the same level as Ice, but I think KP's Timbersaw is a bit more laid back than Ice's Timbersaw.
It also doesn't fit what TNC wants, because most of the time KP and Marsh both, they will be the heroes that can really handle the dead lane, just push out aggressively so that they buy time for Gabby to farm up.
That explains why Doom was let through. GeekFam, they have the first pick, they get Doom, they let IO through, but no problem. You have the Doom to deal with the IO, you have the Doom to deal with the target that the IO is tethered to. Perfect opening for GeekFam, but TNC Predator, they take the challenge.
Do take the challenge, but we also have to see kind of how GeekFam wants to play around the IO as well, right? So what are traditional counters to a IO pairing? Obviously, the Ancient Apparition is typically banned out because you don't want to have the heal mitigated, but anything else that really hinders an IO combination?
Any heroes that can kind of dive the IO, or stop the IO from gathering, like, for example, your Winter Wyvern is a good choice.
Yeah, if you look at support, Disruptor, Witch Doctor, Winter Wyvern are always the top 3 for you to counter a Gyrocopter lineup. A Gyro IO, like what we have seen here. I think Doom versus IO though is kind of goes both ways.
Yeah.
Depends on who you get to Doom on. If you get to Doom on the IO can always buy back, relocate back right back into the team fight. So that's probably not so incentive-wise for Doom to go for IO. But if you Doom the IO's partner, IO can always be there for your for the heal. So it depends on whether GeekFam has the ability for them to instantly take down Gyrocopter after he's Doom.
Yeah, you generally want to just isolate either the target that the IO is tethered to or the IO himself. And you want to make sure that you're constantly fighting with a man advantage. And I think heroes that can set that up are really, it's a really beneficial, will be a really beneficial pick. My English.
It's okay, don't worry. I've been struggling today too.
But Winter Wyvern is a good example. You have the IO wants to stick with Gyro. You curse the IO, the Gyro will kill the IO on his own.
I mean, the Splinter Blast could also be a bit of an issue too, right? If you hit the Splinter Blast onto IO, then Gyro has to kind of sit back to let the IO catch up. The slow is pretty significant too.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely for the Winter's Curse. If you if you Winter's Curse the IO and the Gyro is nearby, the IO will most likely die. And if you curse the Gyro, you have a setup to deal with the Gyro afterwards. And you can even isolate the IO after that. It's kind of like a Grimstroke factor. You see the IO Gyro, you pick a Grimstroke, you tie them together, you kill them off.
Most importantly, GeekFam's 2 hero goes through BKB. I think this go through BKB factor has, ever since Fnatic has introduced to us, I think teams are starting to learn and pick up and execute it right now. And I love the TNC Razor's ban as well. This is one good hero against the Gyrocopter. All you have to do is to static link Gyro, and we all know that Gyro most likely is going to be a 1-core lineup. So take away Gyro's damage, and he's gone.
Yep, and AA ban by TNC. That's a instant block
10
towards
seconds
the
remaining.
direct counter. Another hero that might be able to do that is the
Predators
Necrophos.
turn to
With the
ban.
Reaper side, we've always kind of had this general consensus that Necrophos good against tanky heroes, good against heroes who want to just stand there and fight you, but like a Spectre, Alchemist, Io, DK, but Necrophos, he doesn't care about all of that. The more HP we have, the
10
happier he
seconds
is.
remaining.
So let's say we take that Necrophos. So who is going to be playing it on
5
Geek Fan?
seconds remaining.
I think Carl is the only one that played.
Yeah, Nikar will be the only one that plays the Necrophos if it ever goes through.
Unless, is there a possibility that maybe they put Carl on the Doom, go for mid-Doom and offlane Necrophos?
Yeah, there is the possibility. Just that I feel like Necrophos doesn't fit Cuckoo. Cuckoo want to be the one that's jumping around with the blink stun and blink hook, anything that is aggressive by Cuckoo. But Necrophos doesn't fit that, I feel.
You want to give these two heroes a good lane, and I think it's slightly greedy as well, because especially a hero like Necrophos, he doesn't function with he functions lesser with levels and more with items because he wants to stay alive in the fight.
TNC
at one point,
Predators
the level that
turn
he gains
to
is just for
pick.
the Reaper's side, right? Everything else is kind of complementary. He wants to tank up your Grease, Crimson, Pipe. But if Necrophos gets a bad lane, we've seen that when T1
Dire
picked the
team
Necrophos, when he cannot tank up,
Mirana.
he just gets destroyed immediately. So it's slightly greedy. I don't think you want to pick the Necrophos alongside the Doom. And if you do, this Necrophos will need to have a super good lane.
Alright, so it looks like we're going for our next phase of picks here. Geek Fan will get the opportunity to go for their pick now as
10
TNC are going to
seconds
pick the Mirana to add to their lineup. So Moonlight Shadow going to be a pretty big
5
factor when it comes to
seconds
ganking. But for TNC, Mirana, how does the Mirana kind of fit in here? Who's playing that Mirana?
Most of the time it's going to be Teams.
TNC
I think
Predators
ever since
turn
the Collector Cash came out, Teams has been spamming this hero. Maybe in pubs, but definitely in competitive games.
Dire team
And
pick.
Geek Fam, that's a steal for
Admiral
them. Ogre
Tonka.
Magi, most of the time you want Ogre Magi to pair with Mirana, but TNC went back with the Kunkka. I think Kunkka right here is pretty flexible. You can play it on either Amel or KP. I think Kunkka plus the Mirana arrow is a deadly
10
combo
seconds
X-Mark into
remaining.
Torrent into arrow.
You think that's deadly? I think you'd be more
5
worried about
seconds
Io and the
remaining.
fact that now they've got the Kunkka Rum to work with now.
Dire
The
team
damage
back.
mitigation is huge.
TNC is the few teams in this league that plays the Kunkka, and with the AA ban,
TNC
now the Kunkka
Predators
is
turn to
it's just
ban.
way better. But Geek Fam, they finally get their hands on the Morphling. Morphling has been one of the highest banned hero.
When it comes to the later phase
Yeah.
of the ban,
So the fact that Morphling goes through, this is going to be a treat. I miss seeing Morphling.
I miss seeing Morphling versus Gyro
10
as well.
seconds
Oh, yeah.
remaining.
Morph into him, get the flag cannon, and you have your own. What do you
5
call that?
seconds
Your own flag
remaining.
cannon.
Yeah, own flag cannon, own machine gun.
Are you a little bit worried now for TNC after seeing that Morphling? Because if you take a look at the lockdown situation, it's not quite there for TNC. It's not easy to lock down that Morphling because you have to rely on X arrow. If you're lucky, the torrent might land as well. But yeah, it seems like this Morphling pick, it's such a huge freedom pick, really. There's
Yeah.
no way to control it.
I'm worried. Morphling here, he can always go for the E-Blade and then make sure that he eliminates Io before the fight, or he can even just play with the waveform, wait for Gyrocopter BKB to go down, and then come back in with the burst again.
Yeah.
Like, Morphling is just so good in this game, actually.
One of the good heroes against Morphling, I think, is the Disruptor, but it's almost
Dire
impossible to
team
fit a
back.
Disruptor into this draft right now, unless you're running this very greedy Mirana mid, this safe lane Io Gyro and a Kunkka off with a Disruptor, then yes. But Disruptor, generally, you don't want to play him as a 4, he's better off as a 5 anyways, your farm priority would be messed up, and if Geek Fan plays fast enough, then TNC will never be able to keep up. So
10 seconds
they
remaining.
need another avenue to deal with this Morphling.
Could they
5
maybe pick up a
seconds
potential
remaining.
Orchid carrier, since Orchid has been a very hot item lately?
Yeah, they can. Furon is still in the game. I mean, Furon against Morphling is always pretty good because Furon hits the Orchid timing so much earlier. It forces Morphling to go into early Manta and not the E-Blade.
Oh yeah.
And we know that Amel plays Furon.
Another hero is Ricky, but again, there's no place for the Ricky.
Yeah, now TNC, they have to figure out if they want to fit a hero that can counter Morphling, or do they want to round up something that can further enable the Gyrocopter.
One hero I can think of right off the bat, the Legion Commander. Legion Commander, Mars. These two
TNC
heroes
Predators turn
pretty
to ban.
decent for KP to pick. Venomancer was banned out, the Beastmaster as well. I was about to suggest that, but GEEK fam, they saw through, so no Beastmaster from
Dire
TNC.
team
One
pick.
hero I want to see is the Enigma from KP.
Oh yeah.
GEEK fam running Morphling lineup, you know what's best against Morphling and Black Hole.
Yeah, I agree. The Black Hole.
Let's see if that's going to be the option. But GEEK fam, they get the pick for TNC. TNC get the last pick. This is probably good news for TNC.
10
Is there any
seconds
cheese
remaining.
TNC could pull off that would really surprise GEEK fam?
Black Hole.
Alchemist?
Enigma.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
no way they can fit the
No way they can fit the
Alchemist.
Alchemist. They fit
No way.
Enigma.
Support Alchemist. I'm joking. Don't do that.
I think the Enigma is probably the cheese that you're looking for right now.
Is there no way they could fit the Brewmaster on TNC?
Oh, there's still a way.
Yeah, Brewmaster
can.
could isolate the Morphling and then you just pick off the rest of the team, no?
Yeah, it's the battle of the Ultimates now. Does the Doom go off first, or does the Primal Split go off
Yeah.
first? There's always the Brewmaster to fall back to.
We'll see. TNC will just take their time to chill, wait for GEEK fam to reveal the last pick here.
Yeah,
GEEK fam right now, they have to think to themselves, do I want Doom to be on mid or do I want Carl to get something more aggressive?
Invoker? No, Invoker get destroyed by Kunkai, never mind. Unless they were willing to play him in a sacrificial role, I don't think they want to risk the Invoker.
Or even the Shaker can be the choice of GEEK fam. We have seen Cuckoo play a very wonderful Shaker, and they have the Morphling.
I wonder if they want to go Shadow Fiend for Carl. Yeah, we saw the Cuckoo Shaker as well. Give a bit of team fight. Okay, it's the Venge Morph.
So core
Interesting.
Venge? Mid Venge?
I think it's a core Venge, for sure.
Do you think it's offlane Venge or offlane Doom?
I think mid Venge is slightly better because you want levels on the Venge. You want
It's like a Cuckoo hero to me.
yeah, I guess.
Because think about
10
Venge, I don't
seconds
think Carl
remaining.
wants to play a hero that is so slow. It feels like Cuckoo hero
5
because this hero is
seconds
all
remaining.
about tempo, it's about commanding. So if Cuckoo plays on this role, it's better off for him to command the team, to control the movement of his team as well.
Yeah.
And we have seen Carl owned with the Doom.
Yeah, I don't know. It could go either way because Venge that she wants to get as much level as she can early on. You get the I think like 023 or I think 113 Winter has also mentioned that before, depending on how you want to play it. But you generally just want to get those buffs up as soon as possible. Then you stick with your team, stick with the Morphling, with the Ogre Magi, and you start pushing down structures.
Now I got some issues here for TNC because they don't have a way to
You may
deal
now
with
select
Venge,
your
but
hero.
Night Stalker.
Oh yeah, we all forgot about this. It's great against Morphling.
Okay.
I think this is the first appearance of Night Stalker
Yes.
so far in the entire
Can't
league.
wait to see the Golden Claw.
Alright. Very quickly explain to me how the Night Stalker is going to function this game.
I feel like he's going to, if he can rush it, he's going to carry the aura items, your Crimson Guard and everything, your Vlads, and if he can get a blink, his job is you blink on top of this Morphling or this Winter Wyvern, you take them out, and then you create space for a team because silence is one of Morphling's biggest weakness, and is Balana, yeah, Night Stalker silence is one of the silence that you cannot purge off. He just have to stick onto you.
I think his job is easy. Before Morphling gets BKB, he'll just jump on Morphling. After that, he'll go for the back lines.
Yeah.
Alright, predictions.
Oh, I'm excited to see TNC.
TNC?
Yeah, I have to abandon the fan for a while. I'll be back, but I'm going to TNC for this.
Alright, I'll take the line. Okay,
Yeah.
One is a geek, always a fan. I'll go for geek fan.
Oh my goodness. Alright, thank you gentlemen. We're going to throw it over to our casters right now. OD, Pixel and Fog to take it away for game 1 of our last series.
Thank you very much. Yes, TNC versus GEEK fam. I'm OD Pixel here with Fogged. And Fogged, I'm seeing some sort of classic SEA core matchups here. We're getting the Gyrocopter coming out on TNC, and GEEK fam, they're going with that classic age-old response of the Morphling against it. Does the Morph still hold that same sort of potential against the Gyro in this meta?
It always can get there, right? If you do ever get your, that nice replicate. Oh well, replicate. You nice morph into it, and you can get, of course, that good combo. He also has a lot of good backup, right? He has Venge, he has Ogre, he has Wyvern, so he is going to be secured, at least protected. So, I mean, there's definitely potential. It's just if they can, because what I'm looking at from TNC is a very fast-paced run at U draft.
Sure, yeah, and like as the panel started to talk about the Night Stalker pick, do you feel that this era can crush them pretty hard?
I think this was like the ace for me. This is the one thing they didn't have a great counter to the Morphling. Now this is a fantastic solution.
Yeah, well, let's see if they're able to deal with the Morph in that sense as we get ourselves into game 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, boy! Prepare for battle.
I mean, yes, for Geek Fam, what is the sort of reaction to when you get this Night Stalker picked against you? Is it sort of a race to get the forces online? I guess already they do have the Venge with the swap right for some sort of way to tear the other cores outside of the reach of the Night Stalker.
It's going to be force stabs, force stabs, anything that you can do to protect Raven in particular, because you're going to assume, I think we'll probably get I think KP will be the one that gets Vessel. It'll be Armel or KP, the one that gets the Vessel, and then probably a Blink Dagger on the Night Stalker, so he's just going to stick on the Morph, because besides the Morph, besides that Night Stalker we were looking at before the pick, that Morph had limited catch, right? You're going to be able to avoid the X mark the spot, the arrows. It's going to be tough for them to land that once. Night Stalker's the thing that makes it difficult, so yeah. Force stabs, swaps, going to be looking at Cuckoo's positioning a lot in this game.
You're a trusty mate.
And that's interesting too, is it's not, it's a 3-position Venge too, as the saver, I guess you could say, in this game to protect that Morphling.
And the mid Doom. I mean,
the battle
something
begins.
I don't think I've ever really seen. Maybe apart from when I might have played it myself in an all-random game, where I say I'll take this mid, but this is not, of course, the usual position at all. Something that I've very rarely seen, if any times, in all of the games I've ever casted.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of awful versus Conka, doesn't it? You're gonna get slammed, and you can't really trade right clicks as well. But I mean, maybe he can actually sustain because of if he gets the early level 2 Devour and stuff. I don't know. I feel like this is just an easy Conka lane, but maybe I could just be wrong.
Yeah, well, we'll see how well Car's able to deal with the harassment from Armel. And even with, even sort of with the. I mean, I guess. I mean, what sort of skill build is he going to go for? Do you go sort of a different way because you're in this 1v1?
I'm not sure, to be honest. All I know is Armel is going to have every single asset in the lane unless they address it. So, bottom lane, Cuckoo, looks like he's probably going to die.
They're going to get one. I mean, they might even have a chance of turning on the Zeph for a little bit. Gabby's going to have Holiness a backup in a few seconds. Zeph just using the last of his mana there to try and spam Gabby low, but they're kitted out with regen. Of course, March with the headdress, and between them still 5 tangos for this lane, so TNC definitely prepared for a bit of battling.
Yep, and Gabby got the last hit, right? So he's got double Wraith Band already. So this bottom lane should probably be pretty good for Gabby. March might die a couple times, but I'd imagine that Gabby's gonna free farm down here as well. So 2 real solid lanes for TNC that I'm looking at the moment. Top, I mean, I like the top lane too, so I'm really looking at like 3 winning lanes for TNC at the moment. And they should be able to keep pressure up and look to run at the missed hip top.
He gets a little too close. Whitemon's just able to turn for the Fire Blast. Raven slides in with a waveform. And Tim's just a little out of position there, gets punished.
You need one more creep to hit level 2. Always have to be careful of that when you are Mirana. When they identify, you have arrow level 1. Just have to play a little more careful. But yeah, still, I mean, they get that kill, but I still think that it's the 3 winning lanes for TNC that should be at least. I mean, I'm not gonna look at mid because like I said, I'm very certain that Armo is gonna destroy this matchup.
I mean, what is this down to? Is this just down to the fact that, sure, I guess Doom, you've still got a hefty right click with the animation and then competing against time bringing just don't stand a chance?
Terrible animation. 0 armor, so you get slammed every time you get hit by that physical damage, and you cannot trade with right clicks. You cannot push the wave out. There's a lot of different reasons we don't see Doom hit that much.
Yeah, and I guess you're hardly a hero really that can step to the neutral camps and do much at all. That damage early on Scorched Earth is nowhere near enough to reliably farm neutral.
Yeah. Your Admiral is the scary thing is too is like as soon as Kunkka hits 6, Doom's just dead. One rotation is very easy kills because of that low armor.
I mean, even in a situation like that, Farmhouse has a little bit more mana for the exit.
Yeah, look at this. That's what I mean. It's going to be a lot of regen expended by K in order to match. But Devour will maybe the bonus gold. It's 80 bonus gold at level 2 with that regen. So maybe somehow it's evening out.
Your Admiral is on board. Your Admiral is on board.
Top lane.
Top lane. I'm going to try a bit onto KP. Raven has the waveform to close the gap if he wants to chase for this, and he will do so. KP trying to juke through the trees. Whitemon's got to blast up again in a second. KP's got to do his best to keep out of range. He does have boots, whereas Whitemon does not, so KP should be fine here. Also has the salve. Actually finding himself a courier. Okay, will be microed away. So KP will not go for that. But fair bit of time where he's going to be away from the lane. Whitemon trying to stay closer to his whereabouts to cancel any potential TP. But KP does manage to keep himself in. Actually, obviously, just CP back to base as well. Goes for the full refuel. Doesn't mean this will be a fair bit of time where Raven's going to be happy top.
Yeah, I mean, this will happen. Ogre is one of those heroes that can prevent, one of those like little bit more risky carries to get pressure too much. Whitemon doing a good job of that. So Raven will at least be able to start now getting that farm caught back up, which he did need because he was getting pressured a bit. Tim's going to start moving. Here's the move.
Yeah, they're going to bring a march as well. Extra bit of firepower. He's not quite hit the 6 yet. Does mean that the kill won't be there.
Straight to the bottom.
Carl will be able to dodge it. Not quite enough to bring down the Doom, but still making Carl's life pretty sad in the mid lane. 29 for 6 against the 22 for 2. And it's not looking to get any better anytime soon. Because, I mean, even when Carl hits the 6, Kunkka, hardly a hero you can just straight up walk up and Doom and guarantee a kill on. Armel with the 2 braces and a potential boat buff coming out onto him is never going to die to that in lane.
No. Unless he gets caught off guard, that's the only thing. But K, he's sticking down to like 200 HP. Yeah, they're just duking it out a little bit.
One more time, bring a hit in the torrent. Armel's able to outplay and get that kill in the 1v1. And this tough lane for the Doom that we keep talking about. So he's going to get right out.
Your admiral is on
the
board.
6. He's going to get a clarity sent out. And at that point, can't really return to this lane.
Oh man, 3k net worth already pretty much on this Kunkka. Tread, double bracer, that is a fantastic start for Armel. As we said, we kind of expected with the way the lanes were set up. We also see bottom. I mean, Gabby's all the way up at that top of that net worth too, farming just fine. Cuckoo getting prevented a bit. So yeah, I mean, TNC looking real good in the start, and now it's nighttime. So now top lane becomes even more threatening and powerful as KP is actually a real hero.
Yeah, we'll see how mobile Armel's going to be across the map. I mean, obviously, the mid lane is such a lovely place for him because there is this potential kill on K each and every time that he's got the mana for the combo. But obviously, if he does go to side lanes, he's got great cores to fight with, right? Both KP and Gabby can set up very nicely for kills with the control of the Kunkka.
Absolutely. They have so much damage in their draft. Anytime they want to look to take any type of fight. Mid lane. Ooh. Doesn't have the X up. Yeah, he used the X to go back to base to heal up.
Yeah, and K with this high ground ward on the other side of the cliff, sees him playing on animation.
They're actually going for the Doom. With Zephyr here.
I mean, with the 2 of them, they're going to struggle to dive. I mean, there's an IO on TNC, right? Every time March is just going to be able to come in, keep him safe. I mean, and this is one of the things, right, that could be good about the mid Doom, right? You get the 6 online very quickly, but if you're throwing it out like that, that's suddenly out for 2 minutes, and then you kind of become a useless mid hero for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're just a farm bot, really. Devour creeps inside the side lanes, because now you actually cannot do anything. You cannot rotate, and you cannot help your side lanes that much, so definitely a big opportunities right now for TNC. If Armel does want to move, if he wants to gank the side lanes, or if he could just stack and farm jungle.
Yeah, he could just keep farming.
Kunkka does like in a beast anyway, so. And he looks like he's actually going to be going for, he's going to go for the Solar Crest to buff up Gabby.
Yeah. It's a little different, you know, not something you'd expect to see a Kunkka rush in this mid position, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a way to buff up his cause. You mentioned in the draft, obviously, how many ways GEEK fam have to really make Raven big and powerful. TNC, they're going to look for that in the items. Obviously, they do have the IO backup, but yeah, these little extras are going to make the cause incredibly strong in these fights where GEEK fam's just not going to be quite ready to fight back. You've got this mid Doom, you have this Morph, Raven obviously needs time.
Your admiral is on board.
The early to mid fights are going to be so much stronger for TNC. So,
they're diving again onto the boat.
They're going to try and go for the 2 of them. Whitemon does come in with the TP, but again, the damage is lacking from GEEK fam. They don't really have much at all to hit back with. Void slow onto Whitemon. He's underneath the tower though, will bloodlust it up as Armel backs away.
Who's going to buy the vessel though? I see KP has 1,000 gold as well. Either Armel or KP needs to buy the vessel this game. They're both Wyvern and Morphling and Doom.
Oh.
I mean, I hope
Radiant's
so.
top tower is under attack.
Oh, no. Wait, what did he pick up just now?
He just got phase boots, so.
Okay.
Okay, they're gonna have Tims do it. All right, it's gonna be a bit slower then, though. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess that's the choice that they wanted to make, but it's gonna make it come out quite a lot slower than those two because they're getting an insane amount of farm on the Night Stalker and Kunkka.
Sure. I mean, I guess as you say, it's always gonna be great for killing the Morph, but
Radiant's middle tower
against
is
the
under
other things
attack.
like the Cold Embrace, and they
Dire's
have a lot of
bottom
magical
tower is
bursts,
under
right?
attack.
So maybe feeling confident that they don't actually need the that quickly to get the kill. Heroes they want to make moves onto.
It's just such a like versus Doom. It's fantastic. It prevents the Devour regen. He's high HP strength hero like Morphling Wyvern. They'll get it, but yeah.
Radiant are looking for a Doom opportunity. Just going to drop it straight down to Gabby. But he's tethered up. He's moving back under the tower. TPs are coming in, and here's the X-Mark Commander. He's ready to turn around. Looks to try and bring Cage back down into the boat. Arrow follow up. The swap to the side. I mean, it's Cuckoo swapped himself into the arrow. Hey, he's not. It wasn't even enough to save K, as both KP and Armel chase him out. KP even looking over towards Whitemon. Doesn't have enough mana though for another void slip. Maybe not mana. He's just going over the right clicks. Whitemon with the start on you. Whitemon, he's going to go down as well. They lose 3 down here on the bottom lane. And it's not looking like a great highlight reel for the mid-Doom so far this game.
No, definitely. I mean, you can't be the one that leads if you don't have
Radiant's
the best
top
position,
tower
right?
is
If you
under
have a way to
attack.
catch and keep him near you guys when you do that, sure, and to break the tether, then you have an opportunity. But that was very
Radiant's
overzealous,
top
we'll
tower
say, you know.
has fallen.
The nice little
Dyer's middle
castaway
tower
saying
is under attack.
Maybe they get Tim's. They'll get Tim's. Tim's got the bounty rune though. He's like, job done.
Okay.
Job done. I got the bounty rune.
I mean, the biggest thing really is that Raven's not
Radiant's
getting
top
pressure.
tower
He's
is
just
under
got a
attack.
top tower, right? He's still top 2 net worth. So at least they're forcing the aggression away. They're making all the moves on the opposite side of the map and making him just have all that free space in the world. He even gets like, they get the 2 bounty runes up top, so 3 bounty runes for them. You know, that's a choice they'll make. Maybe it's just like they're trying to match the relentless aggression that's going to happen so that Raven doesn't get ran at.
Yeah, I mean, Raven has been known to course carry Geek Fam on his back many times. You know, he's that sort of carry player. The sort of 4 protect 1 can definitely work out in Geek Fam situations.
Especially when he's a Morphling, with Ogre, with Venge, with Wyvern all backing him up, versus a Gyro. You know,
Versus
he's
the
got
Gyro,
that potential.
yeah.
Exactly.
No, Raven can definitely carry. He can definitely carry this.
Yeah. As long as the rest of them don't die too much and fall too far behind. Because the thing is that Gyro's also going to hit a bit of a faster pace of when he can actually just join and show up to all of the fights with his team.
Yeah, moving him down bottom as well. Here was for Cuckoo. Put some pressure onto this tier 1. See if TNC want to try and defend. Armel's coming down with the smoke.
And KP has ult in 10 seconds. He has a full drum coming out. This is not going to look good for GEEK Fam.
They're going to start firing onto Cuckoo. Make sure there's no potential of swap saves if they try and burst down the bench to start things off. Now Raven on the retreat. Hunting missile heading his way. TNC trying to chase this down. They will get underneath the tower though, and TNC aren't going to go any further. K is also here at the side, Doom at the ready. Going to start coming into the jungle, maybe see if he catches anyone on
Radiant's
the way back
middle
out.
tower is under attack.
TNC not going to be heading into the path of this Doom, so K won't find anything.
I think they have to be a little careful how they make those separate rotations. I think you look at TNC draft and you're like, there's no way that we can take a head-on fight unless we just get someone out of the fight preemptively with a Doom or with a Curse and they just die beforehand or
Radiant's
swap out of
middle
position.
tower is under
Head-on
attack.
fights when you have this Morphling
Dyer's
and a Doom
top
that has this
tower
type of
is
game.
under
You know,
attack.
Doom versus Kunkka. Kunkka's always going to win in the team fight aspect. So they have to be able to, they have to approach those a little bit better if they want to go for those like 4-man moves. Because Raven actually joined them down bottom too for that one.
Would you like this as well from Gabby? Go for the Diffusal Blade Rush, bit of the top.
I mean, I love this build versus any type of like strength heroes, and even versus Morphling, it's super frustrating. And Wyvern, you're actually able to do something versus Cold Embrace a lot of the times too. Yeah, I like it quite a bit. Couple hits on the Doom in the front lines, and he's screwed as well. So
yeah, of course, it definitely means that. Some of these fights, you know, K, he's going to be tanky enough to live for a bit, but if he doesn't pop that Doom early, he might not have a chance to cast it at all. As Cuckoo found in the river, arm out, another easy grab with the torrent boat combo.
Radiant's
level 12, he's going to be free to find kills wherever he wants to, but
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
That was indeed, so 2 minutes slowdown on that item pickup.
Wow, that was
very
a full
nice courier snipe from Zephyr.
that was the full Solar Crest too.
There's the ultimate orb, the recipe.
Here's my pension, my pension.
That's a big pick off there for them, as Armo will be slowed down quite a bit with the stats at least. And he still has a medallion, and they're still getting all the farm in the world. Next item choice, I was about to save this for KP, waiting to see what he queued up, but I expected this one, the Blink Dagger. Instantly Blink silencing on top of the Morphling. I mean, he's actually getting pretty close as he switches. He's going to be KP, just kidding. I like the Blink a little bit more, to be honest, this game, but I think he probably feels like he has to act as that frontliner so that the Kunkka can get the spells off anyway.
See White Monk coming across the X-Mark straight into the arrow.
Your Admiral is on board.
Cuckoo will be in with swap to save White Monk from the full combo. Swap back as well. Cuckoo trying to set up on the Tims, but Tim still has leaps available. As he'll be able to get himself away.
Good protection of the triangle for the time being. The KP now. But the strength port started. They're air sentry.
Yeah, they can't finish this off anymore with Raven being quick with the reaction there. Still with the Moonlight. May have the chance to catch someone around mid. Armel has boat back online.
Step lively now. Your
Geek
Admiral
Fam
is
are
on
holding
board.
themselves pretty tight as a unit. Making sure that they're not allowed to get caught out. Bottom lane being pushed in by KP.
That was really
Won't
good.
Find anything with this nighttime.
Yeah, really good read there by Raven. I actually think the sentry didn't catch on the right side, but I think it caught somebody on the left side, and he just was like, all right, I'm just too afraid to sit on this side, not strength morphing. A very likely death that he prevented there. And they're keeping the net worth closer than I thought it would be. They're farming really well, moving around the map, even though it's 8-2.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So it's 15-minute runes. Not going to be able to secure 2 apiece.
Dire's middle tower
has a
is under attack.
dagger. He's pinging
bottom
Gabby in the
tower
mid
has
lane, but
fallen.
March is at the ready with a full stick and a mech right behind.
Let's see if K goes for it. He's going to try. Jumps in. This is the Moonstone. Waiting on the Doom now. He jumps it. He's going to drop the Doom down. The Curse as well. On Gabby.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There wasn't even anyone really around to hit him. They're still bringing Gabby down, but Archie's got the mech, as you said. Gyro's just full HP, basically. As they're
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Cooldown coming down onto Carl. The Doom is dead. Missile flies over towards White Monk. TNC going to be able to find a few of them. And Cuckoo has walked himself into his own death there, it felt like. Has 3 dead. It's 11-2. The tower's down in the mid lane. And it seemed like every time they use the Doom, they just sort of metaphorically doom themselves, Geek Fam.
Okay, they don't have much vision on the map. It's been pretty much taken out all by TNC in this game, but you have to know that the IO is just sitting behind Gyro. Like, there's so many different plays that TNC has there that even if he does get doomed, they could even just relocate him out and then reset the fight entirely, or they do exactly what they do there, just drain people. Very bizarre move from Geek Fam as they try to make a move on the KP, but they're all just dying.
As soon as he died in the same spot, Respawn gets back, he's gone once more.
You belong in the ground.
They're crumbling here, Geek Fam. They don't losing any sort of sense of teamwork. It's falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know what to do because and KP bottom, he actually finds the grab
Radiant's bottom tower
morphing
is
onto
under
Raven.
attack.
They're running down, he can't do his
Dire's structures are fortified.
All he could do is try and work his way through the trees here. He's got one more waveform to play with, but there you have it. Radiant waiting, Armel and Tim's moving down to connect with KP's aggression.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Hits. They're a little scared of
Dire's
committing on
top
him
tower
though.
has
TNC
fallen.
playing safe, knowing the potential TPs are coming in onto tier 2. They won't try and force it any further onto Raven. So Raven will get away.
I think Geek Fam is really lucky because K's TP as well as Zephyr's TP, and I guess Cuckoo's was just available. The 2 of them were not available. They could have absolutely chased that one if they had, bird's eye view like we have, of course. But Raven will survive, but gets pressured, and I mean TNC just cruising now after that last few moments. Gabby pretty much has the Aghanim Scepter finished up. Oh my.
Yeah, Raven's got his work cut out this morning, or this afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you're in, watching from. Raven is, he's got to do a lot in this Morphos game. Yeah, he needs to all around him.
Yeah, and sure, he's got the buffs and he's got the good matchup versus the Gyrocopter, but like we mentioned, playing versus that Night Stalker really just cripples your potential. Because sure, you got Manta, awesome. You're going to be able to prevent some of the, you're going to be able to work around some of the stuff and play around like the X's, but silence is different when he just sticks on top of you.
Peace.
And maybe once he has the E-Blade, there'll at least be that chance for him to start the fight soft, bursting one of the squishier heroes of TNC. But I mean, as we've seen, March is going to be prepared with these saves.
Yep.
That mech. I think it's going to be hard. They've got the Orchid finish now on the Wyvern. So Zephyr extra potential with that curse. I'm going to have to see if they're going to be a little more careful with the usage of this. Yeah, top KP's going to be found here as KP just pops Dark Ascension immediately. Gets on top of it. They're moving in with Gabby and March, so they'll have enough damage here for sure. K's trying to run, but a homing missile's heading his way. trying to see if he can attempt the side, but there's no way he can play his way out of this one. As TNC clean up the mid-doom once again. The kills just continue for TNC. Quick catch onto Zephyr.
Hey, Cuckoo.
And the Wyvern comes down to a crashing end. Cuckoo's out as well.
Dire's middle tower
This
is under
is a
attack.
rough one for GEEK Fam. A very rough one indeed. Their core's having a very tough time. You know, apart from Raven. You know, Raven he's just in his own little land right now. He's just trying to look away from it all, keeping his eyes averted from all this horrendous action that GEEK Fam's been involved in. As you know, his mid laner, mid doom is 0-5-1. His off laner is 0-6-1.
Is under
Not
attack.
the greatest of KDAs.
Dire's
I wouldn't
middle
be surprised
tower
if
is under
Raven's just
attack.
muted his teammates and he's just hitting the creeps right now.
Dire's turret
maybe Raven
has
just
been
avoids
killed.
to death and he just, guys, I had 0-0-1. What are you guys looking at? I don't
Roshan has fallen into the
right
rage.
at TNC. I don't see this game getting any easier for GEEK Fam either, because now TNC, they have all the items that they need that we said, like, you know, they've got the Vessel, they've got the Blink, they've got this mech backup. They have so many different ways just to counter GEEK Fam's lineup at the moment, and yeah, GEEK Fam's just a long way from being able to actually get a good team fight off. They only have the Wyvern Curse, they don't have great follow-up. They have to get like a Wyvern Curse into a 5-man stomp from the Doom in comparison to match TNC's just, well, drafted team fight. Draft.
Let's see where GEEK Fam can go with this one. Smokes out and getting Raven involved, making this move
Radiant
now.
are scanning.
Alongside their morph. It's been scanned out though. TNC hit the target, bang on.
Oh god, are they gonna walk right into him? TNC, they're so prepared. No nighttime though available. That's what they were trying to take advantage of on GEEK Fam. About 20 seconds until KP will have
Dire's
that.
middle tower
They're
is
just
under
gonna
attack.
they're just gonna play it safe. They're gonna back up on TNC after that scan is successful, and then once Darkness is coming back up, they're gonna look to, well, Dark Ascension, sorry. Once they have that back up soon, they'll walk back out. Okay, in the mid lane.
I just have to be careful.
Yeah.
Anytime the Armel or, of course, KP with his blink set and jump on him, he will go down. Top lane, Zephyr. He's trying to push out of lane. Goes for TP out and will make it away. Missile not quick enough to connect. So Zephyr gets away with spending that time pushing that top lane out.
What's Cuckoo gonna buy? He's sitting on 2,600 gold. He has not shown what he's gonna buy at all.
I mean, what?
Okay.
He's just gonna get the Vlads. I mean, it's fair enough, right? You want to make the game easier for Raven. Get him any sort of auras online.
I was thinking Vlad's or Force Staff would probably be the best options.
Yeah, because what? They don't have any forces right at the moment, do they? Only the swap to rely on.
Yeah, Zephyr went for that Orchid Greed, so there's no way to protect Raven if he does get silenced up.
Yeah, full greed on Zephyr as well. Orchid
Dire's
and
top
then
tower
into the
is
shadow
under
blade.
attack.
Your admiral is on board.
Yeah, he sort of, I mean, I guess at this point, you know, he sort of says, hey, well, Cuckoo, with the same net worth, I might as well just be as much of a core as you are. He's getting all sort of the off-lane Wyvern items right now.
Yeah. It's very, I mean, it's his playstyle, the way he plays the 4 positional. He's very greedy
is under attack.
on Zephyr normally. So when he plays as like Phoenix and he plays as like Marauders and stuff, he always gets very, very greedy type of style. Which, I mean, it works for them a lot of the time, so. This game, not so much, but can't really blame him entirely. I think they just have a really tough matchup in this one. Now they're starting to run around with Raven. He's getting close to the E-Blade, which one thing that can sometimes turn if they can get the pick off.
Middle tower is under attack.
Again with the aggression.
Yep, Zephyr gonna drive with the TP out. They got the damage, they don't. KP popping the drums there for that extra bit of punch, but it isn't quite enough to take him out. Back towards me. Gabby and March will pick up Whitemon out alone. TNC, Armel and KP coming over to join them alongside this mid push that Gabby and March are going to have coming in. Already KP hunting behind the tower. See if we can find any sort of setup.
Middle tower is under attack.
Carl's already back up to the base. They won't dive. They'll just focus on pushing the Tier 2.
Dire's middle
About 2
tower
minutes
is under
until
attack.
nighttime.
Is under attack.
Dark Ascension's cooldown for 90. They're going to back up anyway, look to finish up Gabby's Satanic. Once he has that, I mean, I don't see a way he dies unless he just gets popped out of position, but so many different ways to protect this Gyrocopter who's already having such a good game. Can't see no rush.
No deaths on him whatsoever. Same to be said for, well, most of the lineup. Who's the way? It's just Tim's that's gone down twice. Everybody else on TNC not dying a single time this game.
Yeah. I mean, they're coasting through this one, for sure. Getting close to, yeah, Satanic, BKB soon on Armel. March, also, I think he has one. He has the Holy Locket finished? He does have the Holy Locket. Oh, wait, that's not the Holy Locket.
Radiant's
yes,
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, he's got it finished.
It's on its way.
Oh, that's going to be really strong.
Yeah, between sort of that and the mech, that's a lot of burst to provide for himself and whoever he's tethered up with.
It's 35% extra on top of the tethered thing too, so it's not just the fact that he can, you know, use it on other people, but here comes the aggression, Zephyr.
Oh, they get the jump in. I'm going to be able to blow him up there with the E-Blade. Going to take down one. K's going to move over towards the eye. Going to drop the tomb down onto March. March is going to stand his ground in the boat, get the boat buff, but it won't save him. March goes down. And March is going to take the Aegis away out of the Gyro's hands. Getting back for round 2. Let's see if he can turn this one around. The torrent's out, but the curse is there as well as the silence. Gabby, he's going to kill both his teammates. He's holding on. They kill off the Gyro. Car's still alive. Raven cleans up! This was the plan all along! Raven said, I don't care what the rest of the team does for the first 25 minutes. I'm going to be able to carry this one. And he's doing
Radiant's
it. He's
middle tower is under attack.
Look at his damage he did in the fight. 9,000. He had a DD rune. They end up catching the Eye on the front line. He turns into the Gyro with a DD and just punches out everybody with all the auras behind him. Oh my
Radiant's
god.
middle tower is under attack.
The Raven morphling, and this is the Raven potential.
Radiant's middle tower
I mean, maybe that's sort of how the drafting went, you know. It was sort of, Carl was like, hey Raven, can I play Doom and go
Radiant's
feed? Raven's
middle
like,
tower
sure dude,
is under
I'll
attack.
play more. And then Cuckoo's like, hey, can I play Benji, you go feed? And Raven's like, yeah man, you go for it. I got this one, just pick me the water boy, and I'll win this game for us. I mean, 4-0-2, he's just had a fight like that. Yeah, they have to get on top of this morph. If they don't control Raven at the start of the fights, he's just going to clean up.
I can't believe they get that type of fight running into the high ground just because they placed these aggressive wards. They walked up into TNC and just got the perfect situation. Wow. 8k gold swing, right? Just about.
Cuckoo. Now just sort of sticking with the agenda. Another death for him. Raven's like, keep it up, Cuckoo. All part of the plan, as Raven now has had the space to finish up his BKB. So he's going to be coming into the next fight with BKB, Manta, E-Blade.
Now he's got the protection versus the Night Stalker, so now his teammates, they don't need that Force Staff to protect him. And man, like honestly, that Zephyr curse really turned that whole fight around too. That was just perfect positioning by him, getting the curse around the Gyro. Because Gabby had, I believe he had the Satanic during the fight, so. A huge place for Geek Fam.
And it wasn't enough to save him, no. He's going for the BKB next. Knowing that he has to have some sort of safety against the burst if they do get onto him.
Yeah, and Raven with all the buffs that he is thrown onto him. I mean, yeah, 4-0-2, still very strong. Going up for that Satanic next. Amazing item versus that IO Gyro. A bit of that healing, also that Night Slow versus the ranged heroes. It's just better. And now Tim's again, the one who keeps getting jumped on first.
Oh. We've got a couple more leaves left. E-Blade's coming out, pots the Moonlight Shadow. Whitemon's got a sentry, drops it down. Got the range for the Fire Blast, and Raven will claim another life.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We'll see where they head next as TNC. Got to be so careful when they turn up to the pushes that Raven's involved in.
Yeah, they're getting really close to double BKB though on the. Alright, is it double or triple BKB?
Radiant's bottom
tower
triple
BKB on the cores of TNC, so they are going to have some insane team fight that does come out soon too. Well, they already do have insane team fight, but they're going to have a lot easier access to just jump into the back lines and have no worries to try to look for Raven. That's probably what they're going to look for after they just got their. After they just got pretty scared after that last fight.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Still should feel pretty confident though, because they still are quite a bit stronger. It is just mostly Raven, the one that's going to be doing all that. That's all buffed up. So if they can actually just take him out of the fight quickly, they're still very strong on TNC.
Yeah, but I mean, it's it's going to be hard, because how do they stop Raven from using his BKB? You know, they can try and get the chains done, the torrent, the arrow, and everything, but Cuckoo is going to be able to break that with a swap.
The prize is mine.
Yeah, it's very unlikely that Raven just dies immediately to this combo without having any opportunity to react. And you can imagine he's going to be playing it careful in any position where he's unsure of where they are. He's not going to be caught out on sort of full agi.
Yeah. And they're also like picking up, now they're starting to pick up these items to protect him too. I believe Whiterun's about to have the Force Staff. So, make it pretty nice. Much closer game than I think we had anticipated after that early game. March, Tim's, trying to reclaim the outpost.
I don't think I've ever seen this one since the change as well on bench. Cuckoo going for that axe, and I wouldn't be surprised if you even didn't know what it did, Fog. Of all the changes
it's the fear.
Had, but it's the fear in it. I've never seen this one actually in action in any of the pro games. But it sounds pretty good, bro. 2-second fear and having 2 charges of it. I mean, sure, the cooldown right is still pretty long for the charge restore, but having 2-second fears to play with in the fight, that sounds pretty potent.
And it's huge, is the big thing. It's a 700 radius. It's massive, the fear. So if he does swap the Morphling out when people are focusing him, they're all going to get feared away. So, yeah, I definitely see the potential for it as he switches and he shoots up the beat.
Oh, he's gone for the boring bar. Come on. Why'd you go for the BKB?
Every time.
Want to see some axe action. First time I've seen it. Maybe next, still getting it.
All right, this is the triple BKB. TNC, this is go time. This should be the fight that they have a lot of easier access into.
Step lively now.
GEEK Fam also looks like they're probably prepared to smoke up. March has to be very wary of his positioning. I believe does he have buyback available? Yes, okay. March has buyback, so will be a little bit different. They can't just doom the IO this time around. So fight will be quite a bit harder.
Your Admiral is on board.
We'll see what they choose to target at the beginning of it. It still feels tough, especially if they have any vision. I feel like KP should be holding a dust. I don't know if he knows that Zephyr has a Shadow Blade finished, but if he can just get into the backline as this Night Stalker onto the Wyvern, they completely crush the team fight that GEEK Fam does have. So they're trying to get the flank.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see. This long wrap around TNC.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Here they're going to find out. They go straight away with the dark section. They move in, looking for the back lines. KP just forward. The BKB's already out from Raven. Comes across, turns to the jar. He's got that flag. Good to go. Looks like Gabby being shot back into the midst of a little fight. Cuckoo net. Out Gabby's got to be careful. There's a bottom tower coming in to save him. They've already killed off Shaw GEEK Fam. They'll finish off Cuckoo through the BKB. There's good reactions here from TNC. They've even got the catch for a further kill on the K. X-March there from Armel. They're to find themselves at 4th. TNC back on top with this solid team fight performance.
Dire's bottom tower
March did have to buy back, but still absolutely worth it. Only Raven staying alive there this time around, just unable to get Raven in a position to do the damage required. The bow buff came out, Gabby lives through the doom, and suddenly they understood that everything that you're throwing into that gyro, it hasn't killed, and Gabby's able to turn and clean up.
And just like I was talking about, the IO had buyback. March knows exactly what he needs to do in the game. Like, he's gonna get focus fired so hard in the fight that just say buyback, come back in, reset Gabby. Also, KP, flawless execution by him in that fight. Jumps directly over the entire team onto the backline, onto Zephyr with Armel. They kill the Wyvern before he gets a single spell off. So they pretty much prevented the majority of that team fight. Gabby gets focused really hard, but they had already lost most of their numbers. So perfect execution from TNC when they were on the low ground. I really like the way they just beelined all the way onto the high ground into the back line. Big fight for them.
He's going to go for the curse. Yeah, he does. He's going to go for on March. Is it enough damage, though? It isn't quite. Isn't quite there. March just tanky enough with this mech and Holy Locket coming out after the curse ended.
And a Fairy Fire, or Greater Fairy Fire, sorry.
Oh, true, yeah.
Even more.
Huge amounts of burst.
Yeah. And Raven still, like I said, Raven's still super farmed, and he's still 6-0-2 in the fights. He just finished his Scotty, has a Titan Sliver too, the best item for Morphling. It's just full base damage. Still very strong, but the rest of his team, they have to be able to protect themselves. Ferocious pings coming out as they see the relocate, but it's an X on the relocate, and now they're immediately smoking after.
It's too far. Mel can find the X.
Radiant are scared.
He's very far forward.
Oh, he's going to try for the TP, but they've still got a vision. We'll be able to cancel it, no problem. Where do they want to push now? They haven't got any creeps on the bottom lane, TNC. They'd have to head back over to mid to bring those ones in if they want to try and push again. GEEK fam still out on the map, staying around in their jungle. Just keeping Raven as safe as possible while he tries to get the Satanic done on the Skadi. Obviously this time as it passes, Gabby's going to have a full rapier if he does want to invest. That he will be able to look to fight with this Aegis. Just about 800 gold off the rapier.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Still is scary, right? Like this Morphling is still definitely a concern. You can tell that TNC is preparing for him. Still definitely afraid of Raven's potential.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you want to see it, do you agree with sort of Gabby's sort of decision here that rapier is necessary, that he has to take that risk in this game?
Radiant's bottom tower
the thing is,
under
if it's
attack.
just Morphling in the fights, right? Like if he just they can just wipe the rest of the 4, and then it's just a Morphling alone. I can see why it can be so good in this game for sure. And this is look at this position.
Radiant's middle tower
He's
is under
scouting all of
attack.
them. They see Raven.
Yep, they're going to try and set things up as KP jumps in with the silence. Boat's going to come down, combo on Zephyr, able to eliminate the Wyvern, get rid of Arrow and Raven the curse. Cuckoo's dead too, and indeed with that setup they can move over to Raven. He's got the BKB, full wave form away. Also turning into the Night Stalker here, getting extra movement speed to run things off as he will manage to escape into the safety of K and Whitemon's arms. They get Raven out of there, but again, it's another 2 quick kills for TNC. GEEK fam not able to fight back.
That was scary for a second. I saw Raven get clipped by an arrow. I thought maybe they'd have follow-up. I almost want to say that someone on TNC should go just Sheepstick, because they're still limited on their disables for this Morphling, and nobody's really... I mean, everyone's really close to it, but I feel like even like Armel, anyone going for it could be amazing.
Yeah,
it's just Raven at this point. He's the only problem that they're
Dire's
having.
middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, because I can see maybe a bit of item that Tim's could go for. You know, sure, as you say, not close to it, but he's got 1800.
Dire's middle
I mean,
tower
what else
has
do you really
fallen.
need from Tim's in this position as a Marauder?
Yeah, I mean, they're still like, cruise controlling a little bit over the game. It's still the fear of this Raven that can potentially just turn a fight if he gets a good shift. They get a DD rune, and they are still positioned here very aggressively. KP on a bit too far out though.
Just do a jump top. Diplomat straight away. A little too far out alone. The rest of the team not anywhere near to help things, as KP just gets collapsed upon by the entirety of GEEK fam. GEEK fam can try and push on now. 50 seconds, no Night Stalker. Might be able to try and poke out on the map a bit. Gabby down bottom, but still holding on to his money. Has yet to spend it. And he's out here alone.
That was scary. Zephyr was pinging him on the side too when he was just chilling, maybe expecting someone to cut a wave. He seemed aware though. It looks like Armel is going to be the one that goes for the Hex. He's queued it up after the AC. So he just finished AC, and then I think they're realizing that it's really just Raven that they have to address. Everyone else just dies. They're just flak inside of the fights. Aegis will get reclaimed, and it looks like the Rapier is finished, but he's going to keep it locked for the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just just make sure that he only unlocks it when he's actually in a situation with the whole team around him, Gabby.
Yep.
And not when he's trying to push out alone or just with March. He's got to save it for the big fight.
Yeah, because they just saw him. They just pinged it. I think it was Whitemon who pinged. He saw the relic as soon as he walked up to the creep wave. And now they're seeing the illusion in the wave too. They know there's an illusion escape, and they see that relic plus Demon's Edge inside the bags.
I mean, definitely a risk there, right? Gabby does get jump taken out. If this Rapier somehow ends up in Raven's hands, that kind of feels like the game then. If this Morph is able to get that Rapier and obviously use the flak potential against TNC, this game's going to be kind of rough. So all in on this Rapier, Gabby. You cannot let it slip out of his hands. He cannot afford to die now.
In very SDA style, right? It's like, hey, we're doing really well in this game. Rapier? Yeah, Rapier.
I mean, yeah, as you say, I like it. It definitely feels like it's more likely than not to pay off, but there's always that chance. Yeah, that chance that things can slip up.
I'm a little surprised he didn't go for the butterfly because there is no true strike at all on the Morphling, right? And it is still a pretty strong butterfly game, but you know, whatever. Gabby doesn't want none of that.
I know we have Raven with the full satanic, so I mean already as we've seen they've struggled to kill him any times at all this game. Also having the AC aura from Carl on top of the Shivas, so excellent backup.
Step lively now.
As we said, with the heroes alone, they have great ways to buff this morph now. There's so many ways that Raven's going to be very strong in these fights, and the question just is, you know, who do you favor more in these fights? The Raven morph or the Gabby Gyro at this point with the team that both of them have around them?
This positioning. So it's really so much about how they catch, because Zephyr getting caught 2 times in the last fights has been so crucial that they just can't even turn to look for fighting back. And they gotta watch out who's showing the front line. Gabby shows.
Sees a little spook to start with. There's Raven. He's going to commit on the front lines. He's looking at the mark. He's gone. Is he dead? He dies straight away. Also finding the IO and KP. They just found 3 of them. They just take him out immediately. And of course, he didn't unlock the Rapier, so Rapier is still safe. And I mean, you can see why he's not unlocking the Rapier. I guess he's only going to unlock it when they're actually taking a fight on the high ground, because as we've seen just there,
Radiant's
fights
middle
outside
tower
the base,
is under attack.
GEEK fam absolutely will still crush them with
Radiant's
the power that Raven
middle
has.
tower has
And Raven
fallen.
just found a DD. Also, in that fight, did you see what happened? So Raven turned into the gyro immediately, put a missile on him, and then it was a swap from Cuckoo that instantly stunned him into the missile. So then he just gets focus fired. It was actually really well executed by them. I'm not sure if it was
Radiant's
100%
middle tower
done on
is under
purpose, but it was
attack.
perfect for them to knock down Gabby.
Radiant's middle
I saw,
tower
the,
has
the
fallen.
homing missile heading the way of Gabby,
Radiant's middle
and you know, as you
has
say,
fallen.
you'd expect him to be able to put the BKB in time, but yeah, that quick move from Cuckoo definitely would have tripped him
Radiant's
up.
bottom
He was not ready to react that quickly.
And their base is just shredded. They don't want to waste buybacks. And all right, 9K advantage for GEEK fam up of 1 fight now. This Raven is
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
He has got a fight back up now. We're going to see the fight as Gabby, he equips himself with it. The rapier is built. The curse is out also. Raven's heading over. They're going to look to turn on him. Is there any way they can keep Gabby alive? He's popping the satanic, but Raven's out doing the damage. He's going as well, stopping baseline heals, or at least limiting them. He's got the kill. Raven's in the dead. Raven picks it up. It's game over. It's absolutely game over.
Is under attack.
Raven 13-0.
Radiant's middle tower
I mean, I
has
guess
fallen.
this is the GEEK fam strat. Pick whatever you want mid, whatever you want off lane. You can die a little bit at the start. You know, Raven and the Space Makers basically, and it worked out perfectly.
Well, can't slip up a couple times in those team fights.
Take my breath away.